Welcome to the final part of sorting this giant Lego bulk lot. Today I've washed all of the random extra bits at the end, as well as some of the vintage parts that had to be washed more delicately. This has meant that now we are able to start piecing together everything, with light grey finally finished drying and these last few specialized parts now ready to go. It means that we can go through every single set, set by set, and work out what needs to be there. I'm glad I washed these parts in particular. They look really clean, and as the three biggest sets in the lot that I wanted to put together the most, they are now ready to be inventoried. The old light grey was washed and dried separate to the new one, and I'm glad I did that because it's much easier to find vintage parts to be accurate for the sets. They've come out really nicely, and just a little bit of time in the sun is enough to get them nice and dry. At the same time, Bionicle was washed. This category includes Hero Factory, Old Bionicle, and newer ones, as well as some of the Speed Champion sets, which I actually wiped down instead of having to completely take apart since they were already mostly there. Of those big sets, the first I did was the Solar Snooper. It seems like there's a few parts missing, but remember that these could also be mixed up with the rest of it. I'll continue to look through all of the other sorted parts that weren't color sorted and try and find these. The Wolfpack Tower was in really good shape. It seems like only a couple parts are missing. Going forward, I figured it would be easier if I combined the light grey from this slot with my own existing light grey. This is much more light grey than I've ever had, so it's great to actually get so much more into the collection to restore other sets in the future. I'm currently combining this with my own current ones and trying to get rid of yellowed ones. You might remember that box of Speed Champions cars that I found early on. Now that I've found every single stickered part, I can actually finally finish this set. I've been keeping my eye out for these parts throughout the entire lot, since most of the time these sets require a lot of stickers. Before I can finish the Solar Snooper, it seems I'll have to sort out the rest of the parts in the lot. But this set looks like it's almost already all there. This is Forestman's Hideout, a really cool old classic castle set, and I think I have everything I need to make this. After inventorying it, it's clear that almost everything is there, it's just missing one of those green whip pieces, as well as a couple other parts that I'll probably find later down the track. I was impatient to get this one built, so instead I decided to go through all the remaining tubs and find the parts for them. It's more time consuming, but I really wanted to build this one first. This means now the set can be built. There's a reason this is one of the most prized Space Police sets. Those sloping green windscreens look so cool, and this is only now missing two small black parts, which I should hopefully be able to find throughout the lot. Otherwise, it looks incredible. With all the printed parts and minifigs, it's really something else. The main job for today is making sense of all the Bionicle parts. There are clearly at least two main of the new Bionicle sets in here, and by scanning some of the parts with Recognize and looking through what parts I can actually see, remember that earlier on I found that mask that was for a valuable Bionicle set. That one is the main one I'll try to put together. However, there were a lot of random Bionicle parts and Hero Factory parts that didn't go towards anything in this. Maybe part of a bigger lot or someone else's lot that got mixed up, but all of these just seem to go to nothing. I spent a lot of time today inventorying, not just the Bionicle sets, but also the Forestman's Hideout, this city set, and also adding all the grey parts in for those castle sets. It took a while, but ultimately I'm very close to finishing a few of the sets. The Bionicle sets I think are only missing one or two parts each, so should hopefully be finished with a small bricklink order, or hopefully finding it later on in the bulk. The classic castle sets especially have come out really nice, with all the grey parts really shining, and hopefully will look really cool when they're all built up. The last thing for today was going through the rest of the minifigs. Now all the sets that I wanted to build are sort of put together. So these are all sort of extra bits that go towards something, I guess. I'm going through all the castle torsos first and working out what sets could be made with these parts. What I worked out is all the minifigs are there for a particular small castle set, as well as both the minifigs for one more Wolfpack set. I think both of these small carts should be able to be made, but we'll have to inventory everything properly first to see. Now I can start to put side parts for those. Today we finally get to build the Black Falcon's fortress. It's only missing one of the brown axes, which isn't important for the build, so I'm going to go ahead and build it now that I've got the string cut and everything sorted, ready to go. This set was the reason I bought the lot. The flag and the Tudor wall shown in the listing photos showed me that this set was in there, and it's just incredible. One of the best castle sets that people are always trying to find. The Black Falcon's fortress is incredible. With all the knights and minifigs in very good condition for their age, it's a really cool set that I think I will keep for a long time. Whenever I buy bulk lots now, I put some of them towards selling for the store and some to myself, and this I think is one that I will keep for myself, at least for a while. When I was looking through the other parts today, I noticed that there's actually a significant amount of parts for a very rare town set, which I normally completely overlook, but this set, Metro Park Service Tower, goes for almost 250 bucks. It seems that most of the exclusive printer parts are there, so I'll have a try at it. I've been doing a lot of sorting and inventorying to try and get the rest of this set and bulk finished. At this stage there are lots of odds and ends parts as I've been sorting by category, as you saw in the previous video. This is the best way to sort stuff, and it means that now I've gotten everything down to just a few tubs. This means I'll easily be able to sort it in the future, but when it gets this small it's very annoying to sort it, so I tend to just put it in a box, and if I need a part that small I can go and look through these in vain usually. It's great to finally see what has become weeks of work to finally be built up into finished sets, some of which I'll keep and some which will be sold, but it's just great to have the space back in my workroom. After weeks of working on other projects, sorting, and inventorying, I finally placed an order to try and finish the rest of this. This Bricklink order is about 50 bucks, but it's going to finish a lot of sets that I've had, not just from this bulk, but from other ones as well. A lot of the time, the parts that I'm missing aren't even that rare, they're just ones you don't come across when you're sorting. This is a lot of parts like that. Tipping them all out, you can see how many different sets and things it's going to complete. First of all, the only impulse buy was just a bunch of Galador. Whatever the store had, I've bought. I have really been a fan of Galador in the last year or so, and any extra parts at all are much appreciated. I'm going to be doing more videos with it in the future, so stay tuned, I guess, if you want that. In some of these bags you can see parts for things like Metro Park Service Tower, that giant town set that I actually managed to get pretty close to finished. There's going to be a few parts I won't be able to replace, but it's going to be pretty good. A bunch of minifig parts. These are just odds and ends minifigs that I had, and all of these one-off parts will go towards finishing a separate set, so it's a really productive lot. The Bandit Secret Hideout, that western set, is very close to being done, and of course, that green whip that I was missing off of the Forestome's Hideout can now be added, finishing the incredible castle display that I've been able to make with all of the sets from this bulk. These are just so impressive to look at together, and it's the first time I've had this many at a time. This lot also gave me heaps of extra vintage and new parts to help me finish things in the future. I've also finished a childhood Chima set of mine that is now very close to being done, and of course the Solar Snooper was able to find the last couple parts through the sorting process. In fact, a lot of the sets was able to be 100% completed. Most of the Speed Champions, most of the town and city, and of course, the Wolfpack Cart, the Haycart Smugglers, all of these amazing castle sets. This shelf alone is worth more than I paid for the entire lot. And ultimately, all those extra parts are going to be so helpful for further projects down the road, and greatly increasing the capacity to make more cool things. I always enjoy set restoration, but it's a lengthy process, and I hope this video series sheds some light on what it means to sort a gigantic LEGO bulk lot.